अस्सलाम-ओ-अलैकुम स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज की इस वीडियो में हम रिवाइज़ करेंगे प्रेसी एंड कंपोजिशन के पेपर में जो इडियम्स आते हैं। पास्ट पेपर्स में 2016 से ऑनवर्ड जितने भी इडियम्स आए हैं उन सबको आज हम रिवाइज़ करेंगे। फर्स्ट वन है मेथड इन मैडनेस, अ प्लान और पर्पस बिहाइंड बिहेवियर दैट सीम्स क्रेजी और डिसऑर्गेनाइज्ड। अब इसका सेंटेंस क्या है? ऑल्दो हिज फाइलिंग सिस्टम लुक्स मेसी, देयर इज़ अ मेथड इन हिज मैडनेस। अ स्क्वेयर पेग इन अ राउंड होल, अ पर्सन हु डज नॉट फिट इनटू अ पर्टिकुलर इन्वायरमेंट और सिचुएशन। इन इडियम्स के साथ यहाँ पर मीनिंग लिखा गया है सिंपल वर्ड में, ताकि आसानी से आपको इडियम समझ आ सके और आप उसका सेंटेंस लिख सकें। इसका क्या सेंटेंस है? ही फेल्ट लाइक अ स्क्वेयर पिग इन अ राउंड होल वाइल वर्किंग इन अ बिजी कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस। नेक्स्ट है डेड वुड, पीपल और थिंग्स दैट आर नो लॉन्गर यूजफुल और प्रोडक्टिव। द कंपनी डिसाइडेड टू लेट गो ऑफ द डेड वुड टू इम्प्रूव ओवरऑल एफिशिएंसी। वेटिंग इन द विंग्स, ready to take over a role or a task when the opportunity arises. There are several young players waiting in the wings to join the national team. Lump in your throat, a feeling of tightness in the throat caused by strong emotion. She felt a lump in her throat as she watched her best friend move away. A chip on your shoulder, to have an angry attitude because you feel you have been treated unfairly. He has a chip on his shoulder because he didn't get the promotion he wanted. At the drop of the hat, to do something immediately without any hesitation. My uncle is always ready to go on a road trip at the drop of a hat. Upset the apple cart, to ruin a plan or disturb a stable situation. We had everything organized for the party until his sudden arrival upset the apple cart. Take a pinch of salt. Do not completely believe something because it might be exaggerated. You should take his stories with a pinch of salt because he likes to brag. Wag one's chin, to engage in idle or lengthy chatter. Instead of working on the project, the colleagues spent the entire afternoon wagging their chins. Yoke around someone's neck, a heavy burden or a restrictive responsibility. The high interest on the loan became a yoke around his neck for the next decade. Sail against the wind, to act in opposition to popular trends or common opinion. The scientist was sailing against the wind when he challenged the established theories of his peers. On the horns of a dilemma, faced with a choice between two equally difficult options. I was on the horns of a dilemma, forced to choose between a stable job and my passion for art. Keep one's eye on the ball, to remain focused on the primary goal or task. To clear the competitive exams, a candidate must keep their eye on the ball throughout the year. Get into deep water, to be in a difficult or dangerous situation. The company got into deep water after failing to comply with international trade regulations. Every cloud has a silver lining. There is something positive in every unfortunate event. Losing that contract was a blow, but it led us to a better client, proving every cloud has a silver lining. Be a cold fish, someone who is unfriendly and shows no emotion. Although he is brilliant, many find him hard to work with because he is such a cold fish. Call a spade to speak plainly and directly about the truth. We need a leader who is brave enough to call a spade regarding the budget deficit. A washed pot never boils. Time feels longer when you are waiting for something. Stop refreshing the results page every minute, as a washed pot never boils. Explode the myth, to prove that commonly held belief is false. The recent data helped to explode the myth that rural areas lack interest in digital education. To call shots, to be the person in control or making the decisions. In this partnership, it is quite clear that senior consultant is the one who calls the shots. Method in madness, a rational plan behind seemingly crazy behavior. His chaotic filing system Seems strange, but there is definitely a method in his madness. Once in a blue moon, something that happens very rarely. Since he moved abroad for his studies, he only visits his hometown once in a blue moon. A piece of cake, a task that is very easy to accomplish. After months of rigorous practice, the final practical exam turned out to be a piece of cake for her. Let the cat out of the bag to accidentally reveal a secret. We are planning a surprise party for the manager, but the intern let the cat out of the bag this morning. Kill two birds with one stone to achieve two different things at the same time. By walking to the office instead of driving, I can save money and get some exercise, killing two birds with one stone. A blessing in disguise, a misfortune that eventually results in something good. Missing the flight was a blessing in disguise because the original meeting was cancelled anyway. Get out of hand to become difficult to control or chaotic. The protest was peaceful initially, but things began to get out of hand when the crowd blocked the main highway. Comparing apples to oranges, comparing two things that are fundamentally different. Comparing the efficiency of a small startup to a massive multinational corporation is like comparing apples to oranges. A wild goose chase, foolish search for something unobtainable. The police spent all night following a false lead only to realize they were on a wild goose chase. Hit the nail on the head to describe exactly what the situation is. The analyst hit the nail on the head when he identified poor infrastructure as the primary cause of the economic slowdown. At the drop of a hat, to do something immediately without hesitation. She is passionate about traveling, that she is ready to pack her bags and leave at the drop of a hat. Burning the midnight oil to stay up late working or studying. Many candidates burn the midnight oil for several months to prepare for the competitive civil service exams. Make a long story short, to skip unnecessary details and get to the point. We encountered many delays and technical issues, but to make a long story short, we finally reached our destination. Black sheep, a member of a group who is considered different or disgraceful. Being the only one in his family of doctors to pursue a career in art, he was often regarded as the black sheep. To harp on the same string, to talk repeatedly and tediously about the same subject. The manager continues to harp on the same string regarding punctuality, even though everyone is now arriving on time. At cross purposes, acting in a way that conflicts with someone else's goals. The two departments were working at cross purposes, which led to a significant delay in the project's completion. Out of pocket, having lost money personally or being short of funds. I am currently out of pocket after paying for the entire team's dinner and I am still waiting for reimbursement. Put on the market to make something available for sale. The historical mention was finally put on the market after years of legal disputes among the heirs. To rough it. To live without basic comforts for a short period. During our hiking trip in the northern valleys, we had to rough it in small tents without any electricity or running water. To speak of worth mentioning or significant. The old car had a few scratches, but there was no major damage to speak after the minor collision. All the rage, extremely popular or fashionable at a particular time. Electric vehicles and sustainable fashion have become all the rage among the environmentally conscious youth. Shake in one's shoe to be extremely frightened or nervous. The witness began to shake in his shoes as he was called to the stand to testify against the powerful tycoon. A dead letter, a law or rule that is no longer enforced or relevant. The old regulation regarding the use of typewriters in the office has become a dead letter in this digital age. Cut the someone dead to ignore someone completely and pointedly. After their heated argument at the gala, she decided to cut him dead when they crossed paths in the hallway. Beside the mark, irrelevant or inaccurate, your comments about the company's past failure are beside the mark when we are discussing the current budget. Go cold turkey to suddenly and completely stop a habit or addiction. After years of happy smoking, he decided to go cold turkey rather than gradually cutting down. Jump the gun to act or start something before the appropriate or scheduled time. The marketing team jumped the gun by announcing the product before the final prototype was even tested. Soften the blow to make a difficult or unpleasant situation easier to accept. The manager praised her past achievements first to soften the blow before delivering the news of the layoff. Like two peas in a pod, two people who are very similar in appearance, personality, or interests. With their identical sense of humor and shared hobbies, the cousins are like two peas in a pod, up to the minute, incorporating the very latest information, fashion, or technology. The news channel provides up to the minute reports on the unfolding global economic crisis. Hook, line, and sinker to believe something completely, especially a trick or a lie. He was so convincing that the investors fell for his fraudulent scheme. Hook, line, and sinker. Treasure trove, a place containing a large amount of valuable or interesting things. The old library is a treasure trove of rare manuscripts and historical documents for any researcher. Dead ringer, someone or something that looks exactly like another person or thing. With that new haircut and those glasses, he is a dead ringer for the famous Hollywood actor. Be over the moon, to be extremely happy, pleased, or delighted about something. She was over the moon when she received the letter confirming her selection for the prestigious scholarship. In a pickle, to be in a difficult, messy, or embarrassing situation. I found myself in a pickle when I realized I had left my wallet at home after finishing an expensive dinner. Hit the hay to go to bed in order to sleep. After grueling 12-hour shift at the office, he couldn't wait to get home and finally hit the hay. Take a rain check to politely decline an offer or invitation with the implication that it may be accepted later. I am swamped with work today, so I'll have to take a rain check on our lunch plans, but let's meet next week. Get your act together to organize your life or work effectively. You need to get your act together if you hope to clear the comparative exams this year. Scrap the barrel to use the worst people or things because nothing else is available. Hiring that dishonest clerk showed that the department was truly scraping the barrel. Cut corners to do something poorly or illegally to save time or money. The contractor cut corners during construction, resulting in several cracks in the new building. Lose your marbles to lose one's mind or act in a crazy way. After working 3 days without sleep, the exhausted programmer felt like he was losing his marbles. Bite the bullet to accept something difficult or unpleasant. She decided to bite the bullet and tell her manager about the error she made in the report. On the ball, to be alert, active, and quick to understand. The young officer was really on the ball, noticing the security flaw before anyone else did. Take a rain check to decline an offer now, but suggest doing it later. I am too busy with my assignment tonight, so I'll have to take a rain check on our dinner plans. To get bent out of shape, to become very angry or upset. There is no need to get bent out of shape over a minor misunderstanding that can be easily fixed. Keep up appearances. to hide trouble and maintain a public impression of prosperity. Even though their business was failing, they continued to host lavish parties, to keep up appearances, to fly in the face of, to be completely opposite to what is expected or normal. The new evidence flies in the face of existing theories regarding the cause of pandemic. Comparing apples to oranges, comparing two things that are completely different. Comparing the performance of a rural school to an elite urban college is like comparing apples to oranges. The salt of the earth, a person or group considered to be the best or most honest. The hard-working farmers in this village are truly the salt of the earth. Out of the woods. To be free from dangerous or difficult situation, the doctor said that the patient is getting better, but he is not yet out of the woods. Chasing rainbows. Try to achieve something that is impossible. You are just chasing rainbows if you think you can win the lottery without buying a ticket. To live like maggot in bacon, to live in great comfort and luxury. After winning the prize money, he began to live like maggot in the bacon in his new house. Bee's knees, something that is excellent or of very high quality. My brother thinks his new sports car is the bee's knees, like chalk and cheese, two people or things that are completely different. Even though they are twins, the two brothers are like chalk and cheese in their habits. All hat and no cattle. Someone who talks big but does not actually do anything. The new manager promised many changes, but we soon found out he was all hat and no cattle. That's all about today's वीडियो। आज की इस वीडियो में हमने 2016 से लेकर 2024 तक PMS प्रेसिडेंट कंपोजिशन के पास्ट पेपर्स में जो इडियम्स आए थे उन सबको रिवाइज़ किया है। अगर आप इसी तरह की और इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस देखना चाहते हैं तो मेरे इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं। साथ में मौजूद बेल आइकन को लाजमी प्रेस करना है ताकि जब न्यू वीडियोस अपलोड हों तो आपके पास नोटिफिकेशन आ जाए। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग। अल्लाह हाफिज़।